I'll start over. Okay, so thanks for coming, everyone. We're gonna kind of do a little review of what we learned in Summit, and I want to even hear the girls that were there, kind of their takeaways or the things that have kind of been seeping in the last few days being home. I personally am still exhausted from Summit, but I'm hoping tomorrow will be better. It's so much fun, and I'm really excited for everyone that signed up for next year. If you haven't signed up, it's on a wait list, and I would encourage you, even if you're not 100% sure or thinking about it just a little bit, I'd encourage you to get on the wait list so that you can at least be locked into that $150 price, because otherwise eventually that price is going to go away probably very soon, like very, very soon in the next week or so, and it will continue to go up. So you might as well just be locked into that price and be given the option to buy your ticket and come off the wait list. And it will also, it's going to go in order on the wait list, so you want to be at the top. And I just hope that you can do that. So one thing that I really walked away from Summit that I think is good for everyone listening to remember is that this is not really hard. I think people try to overcomplicate it or think that there's some magic potion or some magic sauce or secret sauce or fairy dust that some people have and some people don't, and that's why some people succeed and some people don't. And that was just more and more reiterated at Summit that that's not the case. The fact is that the people that we saw at Summit speak and the people that I look up to and the ranks that I want to be or the money that I want to make, all they do is the vital behaviors over and over and over again. So the vital behaviors include taking care of ourselves, being a product of the product. So, that is something that I came back and realized that I have to refocus on the next 6 months, and beyond, but I want to talk about setting some goals for the next 6 months for the rest of the year. There's no reason to wait till January to make resolutions or to write down goals. So I think we have 6 months in front of us that we can make some progress forward. And working out and getting my shake in and eating right is something that is easy for me to let slack. Like, we all have one that's easy for us to let slack. For a lot of you, it's inviting. For a lot of you, it's personal development. And for some of you, I know it is the working out and drinking your shake and taking care of yourself. And all of that is also social media, which I'll talk about. But all those top coaches, it's clear that they do that. Like, it's clear that they don't miss their shake and they don't miss their workout, and they're constantly sharing their progress and they're constantly doing a new program. That doesn't mean that you can't have setbacks. I know I've heard great stories of people admitting to having setbacks. Like, tons of successful coaches were there pregnant or will be pregnant. Like, that's a setback in itself as far as, often for nutrition and exercise and working through that. I know that's the last thing I wanted to do when I was pregnant. Was all I want to do is stuff my face and sit on the couch. So I know that's a setback for a lot of people, but we saw I felt like I saw so many pregnant people at Summit. I don't know if everywhere I turned, someone was pregnant, which I thought was great that they were there and running their business. And, you don't count, Megan. I forgot you were pregnant half the time. So she wore this dress that made her look totally pregnant, though. So, so I want to talk more about the vitals. So the second vital is personal development. This is a very easy one for people to let go. You guys, if you do not own a book that you are currently reading, please go out and get one. If you need advice, we have lots of tips and suggestions based on what you want to improve on, whether it's self-confidence, whether it's learning more about social media, whether it's just having belief in yourself. There's every topic in the world. And I was just reading in my personal development book today. I started a new one, and I don't have it in front of me. It's by Sarah, her name, I think it's Mel Robbins. It's by Mel Robbins, and it's called Stop Saying You're Fine. And I love it already. I'm a couple of chapters in. And it's just this concept of, we're always asking people, how are you doing? Or you're responding, I'm doing fine. And it's like, are you really doing fine? Like, are you really happy with your situation? Are you really happy with where you're living or your financial situation? Are you happy with your marriage? Are you happy with your relationships? Are you happy where you are? And even if you say you are, and you are satisfied where you are, the fact is she started to talk about how I hope you are really satisfied, because unless you grow every day or push yourself outside of a comfort zone or try something new, then where you are right now is where you're going to continue to stay forever. And there will come a time where that's not satisfactory anymore. Like, you're just like, why haven't I moved forward in the last 5 years? Like, 5 years can go by and you can say, wow, I'm in the exact same spot, or I have the exact same debt, or my relationship's in the exact same spot. Like, I'm not doing anything to grow or push myself forward. So this company and this business alone is an excellent opportunity to push ourselves forward, to push ourselves out of a comfort zone, and to grow as a person, and to help not even us grow as a person, but to help someone that needs your help to grow as a person. There's someone out there that needs you to invite them, and not just help them lose, could be 10 to 100 pounds, but they also need you to help them rebuild a relationship, or to gain self-confidence, or to pay off tons of debt that has them drowning. Like, someone needs you to help them. So when you realize that this is more than just about you and all the people that you can help, PD becomes very important, because I think reading something every day that helps you grow is going to keep you moving forward. It's what John Maxwell teaches us: every day I grow. Like, what are you doing today to grow as a person? And that might just be reading, not even just, I hate that word just, but it might be reading personal development for 10 minutes, but that's great. It helps you grow as a person that day. It might be nailing your workout and nailing your nutrition. That helps you grow as a person each day. So just examples of personal development. The last vital is inviting, and definitely not a top coach that doesn't get on that stage and nail inviting. That's for sure. And, they invite consistently. They invite every single day or every single month. Like, we've talked about the systems. You guys know that I invite at the first of the month in general, but this has been the slowest month since I started as a coach almost 2.5 years ago for me. And I don't know if I could look back and maybe instead of my normal 50, 60 invites, the last couple months I've only sent 30. And so it's kind of building up where it's like, I just kind of have this lull of people. But so I've had to get back in from Summit and start sending more invites, because it's July 22nd. The month isn't over. Like, the month is not over until August 1st. Like, it's not over. So if you have goals for each month, and for me personally, hitting Success Club is a non-negotiable. I have goals, and I know that there's people that I need to reach out to and follow up with. If you're not following up with people, that is something that I would say is the secret sauce. I know that there was one talk we were in, and someone was like, I want to know what the secret sauce is. Like, why is your business different? And she said, there's no secret sauce. You have to do the vitals. You have to be consistent. You have to not give up. You can't, I loved this. She was like, you guys, there's so many coaches that get in and be like, I'll give it 30 days. I'll give it 60 days. I'll give it 90 days. You are not going to build a 6-figure business in 90 days. You're not going to have it all figured out in 90 days. So if you have that mentality, if you have people that come into your organization with that mentality that are like, you said, hey, Matthew. They said, hi, Matthew. If you have people that come in with that mentality, then you have to set them straight. Like I say over and over, give me a year. And give me a year means show up for a year. Don't just be like, I'm a coach for a year. No, invite for a year. Read personal development for a year. Get a new program every 3 months for a year. If you do that, you will be successful. I promise you, like, I guarantee it. Like, there's no way that you can't do all those things and grow as a person and grow your business. But if you come in this and you're like, oh, I'm going to send 10 invites, and if it doesn't work out, if they don't sign up, then I'm just going to move on. Like, okay, well, then you're just going to move on. I can save you the time from sending the 10 invites, because they're going to say no. They're going to say no for several months. My best friends still do not drink Shakeology. After 2.5 years and seeing me win awards and walk across stage and seeing me change my life, they still do not drink Shakeology. It's okay. I'm not here to help them. There's other people that I need to help. And I still believe in my heart, it might be 5 years from now that they'll be like, okay, I'll drink Shakeology. Like, they'll give in. I don't know what it is, but I'm not here to push them. I'm not here to make them do something they don't want to do, but I'm also not going to build my business just on friends and relatives. Like, that doesn't build a business. There's no one out there like the guy that started Facebook wasn't like, oh, if my friends and my relatives sign up, like, I'll be good. I'll be cool. That's cool. Like, no, that doesn't build a business. You have to keep inviting and meet new people and make contacts and just get out of your comfort zone. So inviting is huge. We have all the training in the world for inviting. All the training in the world is out there for anything. One thing that this girl said in my book today, she said, if there is a job that you want to do, whether it's be a personal trainer, be a makeup artist, be an actor, be an accountant, be a physical therapist, there are probably 1,000 books on each of those topics on how to do that thing. Go to Barnes & Noble, go to Amazon.com, go to Google, go to YouTube, and learn about what you want to do, because there is tons of information out there. But at that same time, go back to the basics. These are our vital behaviors, and you have to wrap it all up in a little package on social media. You have to share your story, and sharing your story does not mean that I get on Facebook 3 times a day and talk about Beachbody. I don't get on there and only talk about Beachbody. I am not only about Beachbody. I am Kimberly. I am a hot mess with laundry on my couch 24/7. That is Kimberly. I am someone that my son just spent an hour braiding my hair. I should have got a picture of it, but I was tired. I am someone that struggles with my journey, so I do share when I work out, and I do try to talk about the programs that I like and I enjoy. I do share that, when you go to my Facebook page, you should have an idea of who I am, and it shouldn't be like Beachbody, 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 Beachbody. That is not who I am. That's part of who I am, but that's not all of who I am. So when I visit y'all's pages, I want to know who you are. Like, y'all should know I have 3 kids. Or the people following me or the people looking at my page should know basic things about me and get to know me that way. So, but at some point, you have to share what you're doing, because people are also not mind readers. They can't see all about you, and you never talk about Beachbody. There's no reason to be scared or embarrassed or nervous about being a coach. You are here to help people. You are here because Shakeology or a program has made a difference in your life, and you just want to pay that forward. So there's nothing to be nervous about. And if you're nervous and scared about those things, then that's when personal development gets in. You need to read a good social media book. You need to read You Are a Badass. You need to read something that relates to you, that gets you excited and shows you that, this is a perfect example. Like, I know not everyone can get on every call, so I'm not picking on anyone, but we have 9-10 people on the call. There's over 100 people in Team Ignite. 10 of them take the time to get on the calls. It's no different from 10 of us were on the call, last night, or we'll watch the recording. Those are the people that are going to move forward. Those are people that are going to succeed, that continuously plug in, take a leap of faith, and go to events, go to Super Saturdays, sign up for Summit, sign up for the Success Club trips. Those are the people that are going to continue to advance their business. So I got a lot out of Summit, and I got a lot of great quotes. I'm going to let some of the other girls talk, and then if I can fit them in, I'll fit them in. If not, we'll just kind of talk together. But really, it was just reiterated to me. This is my second Summit, and it's a lot of information that they throw at you, but it's crazy that over and over again, they're just telling you to do the vitals, but they're telling you to do them every single day, not when you feel like it. Because you can't eat clean for a week and then not eat clean for 3 weeks and get yourself to your weight loss goals. And you cannot do the vitals for 1 week and not do them for the other 3 weeks and expect to grow your business. That's what clicked with me. I was like, you can't. You have to do it consistently. And you can have a bad day, and you can have ice cream sundae and it's not going to ruin it, but you have to get back right on track tomorrow. And it's no different with your business. So who wants to go first? Megan, do you want to talk about some of your big takeaway?
Sure. So I was talking to Hunter while we were making dinner, trying to figure out, I was like, God, so many takeaways. Like, how do you pick just like one or two? And he actually helped me with my takeaway, which was pretty amazing. But honestly, for me, it's making sure that you're getting to these events and that you're getting to experience the culture that the Beachbody family is, like meeting new people that I know you guys hear us say this all the time, but having Kimberly in my life and having her there to help me be a better person every day and want to be a better person is so important in my life. Like, I really don't know where I would be without her and all of you guys, honestly. But like, without you guys there and not going to these events and seeing these people and all these different stories and seeing that, you know, there's a million pregnant people there. Like, Kimberly is right. Like, I don't know if it's like, you know, they say you get a new car and then you see a new car everywhere. Like, I don't know if it was because I was 8 months pregnant there that I saw people pregnant there everywhere. And maybe that's what stuck out in Kimberly's mind too. Or maybe it was really just that there's that many pregnant people there, which was awesome. But I mean, like, that's the no excuses attitude. Like, you just go and you get there. There's no reason to not be there. So I hope on that note that everybody has signed up for a Super Saturday or Super Sunday this weekend, because they're going to go over a lot of the stuff that we went over at Summit, or as much as they can, and it's going to be really important for your business. And then the other thing, like Kimberly said, you really do learn, like, it is the vitals. It is so much the vitals. Like, go do the inviting, do your personal development, be a product of the product. But I love this quote that was from my favorite training that out of all of them was, no surprise, it was the one that Summer and Tracy Morrow did. But when they said release the expectation that your business is going to happen naturally and create your own opportunity, like, that was one of the biggest things that stuck out to me. Like, you can't just sit around and think, you know, okay, well, like Kim said, you can't, oh, I'm going to do it this week and then that's going to coast me for the rest of the month and then everything will be fine. Like, you have to get out there and you have to hustle to do it. It's not going to happen for you. Like I said, there's so much. I could go on for like hours and hours and hours and hours, but showing up consistently, making sure that you have the right attitude. I love that they said, make sure that you think and act like a CEO every day. And then creating action, like basically what they said in action. And this is from going from a hobby to a career coach. So this is the people that have like made their business. This is what it is. And there's so many people like that in the Beachbody world, but it's committing to personal growth and development. You guys have heard that a million times. Get to the Super Saturday events and to summits, get on the team calls, and you guys are on that, and listen to the National Wake Up Call. And then making sure that you're getting all of your new coaches started right. And if you guys have issues with that, Kimberly and I are happy to help you. You know, we run the Coach Basics and everything, like, but owning your role as a sponsor. And those are like the biggest things to get where you're going, to make sure that you're going from hobby to career. And those are, I guess, the biggest things that stuck out for me.
Yeah, those were all great. And I wrote one of my quotes, and it wasn't even from that training, but it was the same thing. It says, you create the opportunity. Like, this is not going to fall in anyone's lap. Like, it's not going to be like, wow, you're a top coach, you're making all this money. And that might not be your goal to make $100,000 or, you know, but we have to start with what your goal is. So if it's to make, you know, $100 a week or a couple extra $100 a month or whatever it is, let's start there and check it off. But I'll tell you this, if you guys do not have that goal written down somewhere where you see it every day and you really want it, it's not going to happen. Like, you have to write the goal down. You have to see it. Like, I have a postcard that we filled out the last Super Saturday of goals for the rest of the year, where we wanted to be by the end of the year. And it's on my bedroom mirror. I see it every day. And sometimes I see it and I give it the big old finger because I'm like, that's probably not going to happen. But like, those are my goals. They're in my face. I'm reminded of them. And other ones, I'm like, I'm doing pretty good on that. Like, I think I got that down. Like, it's 5 goals that I have for myself for the year. So if you're not writing them down, if you're not sharing them with me or another coach or in the team and making them real, then it's just a wish. It's not really a goal. Like, it's not really something that you're working towards. So I challenge you guys to write those down. All right, Sarah, why don't you tell us your biggest takeaway?
Oh, here. I don't know how to unmute. That's why. So I just quickly want to say to what Kimberly was saying, it was really interesting. I mean, not just hearing top coaches kind of say like, you know, yeah, and this huge tragedy was going on in my life, but I still worked the business every day. And, you know, like that you have the stomach flu, you're still working the business every day. I mean, literally people saying like, I have not missed a power hour in 4 years. So, you know, there is a level of commitment that, you know, that you have to put into it with consistency, and it's sort of, it builds over time. So, and to what Megan was saying, I also, it's funny because I came back and people kept asking me what it was like. And I said, you know, it's really amazing to go somewhere. There are 25,000 people, but who all have this like generosity of spirit. So, I mean, that's a huge group of people for like everyone to be nice to each other, do you know, like, and respectful, and to have sort of a lot of just shared, you know, beliefs and sort of, I don't know. So anyway, so that was very cool. So I actually, I guess for me, the big things that I really came away with were just really thinking about like the design. I think that I need to take control of myself and my team a little bit more and lean on Kimberly and Megan a little bit less. And I think I heard some really interesting things actually in the airport on the way home and on the airplane on the way home that got me thinking sort of another level past what I had already been planning on implementing. So from some of the talks, we had heard that a lot of people are going to 21-day groups. And so I've not only decided to do that, but I've also decided to do it just me and my people. And if that's 4 people, so be it. And there were a few reasons for that, but like various of these people that I wound up speaking to in the airport, I mean, it's all about relationships, right? And so like you're connecting with people, but then you wind up in a group with a bunch of other coaches. So I've had lots of challengers say to me like, who is this person who's posting? Because they don't understand why it's not me that they're hearing from and interacting with in the group. So for me, I've decided, all right, I'm gonna, you know, suck it up and just, I'm gonna spread my wings and fly. But actually, also saying that like, this one woman in particular, that she literally like, you know, she gets a new coach. And if it's a new coach who, the way that she frames it to people is not, do you want to be a coach, but is, unlike the last day. Now you can do this if it's just your challengers, you can do on your last day, you know, oh, this is, you know, the challenge group's ending tomorrow, like here are your options. And you could go into my next group, which will start, you know, on XYZ date. You could go into my kind of, you know, graduates group. You could learn how to run your own challenge group, you know, or we could kind of say goodbye for now. And so I like the idea of framing it as like learning how to run your own challenge group, as opposed to sort of saying being a coach. I think it like, it sparks that excitement because someone's coming out of just having had this experience. It's this challenge group that's made them feel so like warm and fuzzy. Right. But, so I don't remember where I was going with. Oh, so from there, she like does one training group with someone and then they run their own groups.
I like it.
One, I thought you might. They do one with her and then they're out on their own, but she gives them a ton of materials like we have, you know, they have everything that they need for it. But here's actually the revolutionary part, which I haven't told any of you yet. That I am actually trying now. They do not post their food logs.
They don't.
And in fact, they were shocked that we did that. I know. And I just thought that like everyone did that. But not only this woman who I was talking to in the airport and the coaches that were with her, but then also like the two women I was in between on the airplane were both like, you what? So I think that, well, one coach said to me, I don't want to ask my challengers to do, this is to Colleen's question, I don't want to ask my challengers to do something I'm not willing to do myself. Another, like this woman who I was talking to, she became a coach in October. She's diamond. She makes $3,000 a month already. She has 30 personally sponsored coaches, and 35, 30 of whom want to grow businesses. So she's like, and I know everyone's got their own story and there's all sorts of factors there, but I do feel like she's doing something right. Yeah. She has huge challenge groups. They're just hers. And she has like between 50 and 70 people. She said she gets them almost all from referrals from people within her groups. And she basically said, she's like, I'm not going to read it through everyone's logs. So what she does is like every Sunday, she has her people check in with their stats. If they don't do it, she calls them out in the group the next day. Like, and apparently people like that. They like that she's on top of them like that. But she, and then she gets into a conversation on email with them. So it's like, okay, if you're not progressing, like now send me some of your food logs. Send me, like, let's see what is going wrong here. But, yeah, so what she does is like the theme, every day there's a theme, she posts something and there's an action item, and that's one of the expectations that's set for being in the group is like you will participate and show your commitment to me and to the group by doing whatever the activity, the assignment is that I post every day. And it's not like doesn't have to be something super complicated.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm gonna try it and I'll let you all know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I can see some pros of it. Like, what'd you say, Casey? If I'm not posting my food logs, I'm probably not eating like I'm supposed to. Yeah, from us, because that's all we've ever done. But I can see it working. Obviously, it's working for her. So there's got to be set expectations, and the fact that they need to check in like a certain day of the week and be like, okay, well, what's happening here? Right. I think I would still say you need to be keeping a food journal so that if you're not making progress, I need to see your week.
Right.
I mean, that's something. I worked at LA Weight Loss years ago, and they had a food journal, and we asked people to come in 2 to 3 times a week, and so we could review their journal. So it wasn't like every day. And there were some people that only came in once a week, and then the people that came in like every 3 weeks, like clearly were not doing it. Like they weren't on top of it. But the people that came in, let's say once a week, like they did have their food journal, and I could look over it really quickly and be like, yeah, you're not eating enough, or you're eating too many carbs. The same thing we do now, but it wasn't like daily. So
I think, to me, one of the reasons why I want to try it is that I have had a bunch. So like I sort of proposed this to my like 8 people who I had in the Labor Day group, or one of the groups that just started. And I said, what do you guys want to do? I'm like thinking about this new format, and we could start it now, but it's going to be totally on the fly. I'm going to be creating it as we go. And everyone was like, yeah, let's do that. The other groups, like, I already can't keep up with everything that people are, what everyone's eating.
Yeah.
And I've had other people just say like, I don't know these people. I don't really care what they're eating. And it's like, that's not the spirit that I want to create in the group, but like, it's honest.
Yeah.
And certainly for me, now that I, once I got to be in like 10 groups, I definitely, you stop being able to read most people's posts because
it's overwhelming for sure.
So I see the point there, but I also think that like, if you look almost more at the Jessica Rodriguez model, where it's like, I think that she's also more in line with this idea that like, you're signing up for a challenge and you want me to keep you accountable. And so like, you are going to do this. Like, you're going to work out, you're going to follow your program, you're going to work out every day it says you're going to follow this meal plan, you're going to like, and then I'll check in with you. And if you're not making progress, we'll talk about why. But like, so I think she has a different dynamic with her challengers than I have with mine right now.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing your feedback more on that, like talking more about it.
Sorry, I took up a lot of time.
No, you're fine. But I'm going to let Crystal talk for the last 5 minutes.
Sorry, trying to unmute myself. I had a few big takeaways. Some were very similar to what you guys said. Kimberly, you were talking about like the secret sauce and how that's just, we heard that so many times over the last however many days it was that there isn't one. Like, you have to build relationships. You have to connect with new people every day. You have to follow up with people, and you have to create a supportive team environment where people feel like they can thrive. And I feel like that's kind of what Sarah was saying, where her people weren't feeling that way. And so she needs to do something different. And we have to remember that people are more than Success Club points. Once you start getting in the mindset that, oh my gosh, I have 5 days left, I need to get that Success Club point, that's when you start losing trust from people. The other things that I started that I thought were really good was one of the people said, whatever follows I am will come looking for you. So if you say, I'm not good at personal development, then you're going to continue to be bad at personal development. Like, you have to change your mindset, and you have to say, I am good at these things, I just have to work harder at it. And I thought that was an interesting way of putting it, that it comes looking for you. Your growth impacts and inspires the growth of others around you. So if you're continuing to grow personally, I keep wanting to say professionally, I don't know why. If you continue to grow personally, you're going to continue to inspire those around you to do the same. And then the big thing that, like, I wrote down on my computer, like I put it on a Post-it note, so that since I've been back, I've been remembering it, that your life and your actions have to match your priorities. So if my priority is that I want to stay home with my babies once I have them, I have to do my power hour every single day. I can't put it to the side like I have many times. Like, I've had horrible months since my first 3, and I've had good months, but I know that I need to make sure that I'm doing my personal development every day. I'm doing my invites every day, and I'm following up every day. Because if I'm not, then my actions and what I'm doing don't match my priorities. Like, my priority has to be this business, because this is like my out. This is what has the potential to be so good for me and my future family and Jesse. And it's where I see myself in 5 years, and I want to pursue it. But if I'm not laying that foundation now, I'm not going to get there. So,
yeah. And I think, yeah, that's all awesome takeaways. Like, I know we all have so many more. And I think you touched on a big thing that I could do a whole nother call on, and I thought about talking about tonight, but I know I would have kept talking. And that's, Crystal has a really passionate and good, solid why. Like, she has a why. Like, if someone asked me what Crystal's why is, she's going to be getting married soon. She is a teacher. She wants to have babies. She wants to stay home with her babies, not go back to work. And this is her plan to do that. That is her why. Now you have to ask yourself, what is your why? And do you have a timeline on it? Like, do you have, like, this is why I want it, when I would like it to happen? I know some of us want it to happen yesterday, but like a set time. Like, so I had a set time, like when I wanted to make 6 figures by. And one of the things it was a bit ambitious. And I'm not giving up on the fact that I could hit it by next spring. But it might not happen, and that's okay. It's not like I don't hit my goal and I quit. I don't lose 10 pounds in a month, so I'm quitting this program. Like, that's a hothead. That's crazy, But it's still important to set the goal as long as it's realistic, and yours is realistic. But you also have to have that why that's like, why do you want that? Like, and I'm more and more, and like, we don't have a lot of debt, but I'm more and more about like paying off my house and continuing to have the financial freedom to travel the way I want to, and visit my friends the way I want to, and do things with my team the way that I want to. And I can't do that without building a certain income, saving money for my kids' education, like, so that they don't have to pay for it. Like, I have lots of whys, and it just gives me purpose, which is one of the things they talked about a lot. Like, what is your purpose? What is your passion? And one of the quotes I wrote down was, discipline triggers passion. So you might not think that you're passionate about health and fitness, but if you got disciplined in a power hour, and disciplined with the 3 vitals, and disciplined in posting on social media every day, I am promising you that creates passion. It creates this passion in you because you start to help people and you see the benefits. You feel good about yourself. You see other people feel good about themselves. And the last thing I want to leave I'm probably going to get cut off, but what Carl ended with was to be curious, be organized, and be ambitious. And I really love that. The funniest part of the trip was driving home with Matthew, though, because that stuck out with him. And he said, let's be honest. When he says be curious, he's saying, you better know your shit. Like,